Hello everyone, welcome again to my channel. So today we will discuss grid DFS related problems. So in grid related problems or matrix related problems, often we use DFS technique to solve few problems, right? And one of the problem is 463 island perimeter, where if you use DFS, then you can solve the problem easily. Though it's a easy problem, but it will help you to utilize your DFS skills on grid, and later on it will help you to solve complex problems. So the problem statement is saying you are given row into column grid representing a map where grid I comma j equal to 1 represents land. So if it is 1, then that is a land, okay, and if it is a 0, then it's a water body. Grid cells are connected horizontally or vertically, not diagonally. The grid is completely surrounded by water, and there is exactly one island present there. Okay. The island does not have any lakes, means inside there is no water body. Suppose here, if we connect everything, inside water body will not be present. So that is the use case here. Meaning the water inside is not connected to the water around the island. One cell is a square with side length 1. So one side is length of 1. The grid is rectangular, width and height don't exceed 100. Okay. Determine the perimeter of the island. So here if you check, the matrix is 0 1 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 0 and 1 1 0 0. 1 represent land and 0 represent water. And outside of that also you can imagine water is only there. Okay. So now if you check here, they are all connected as a single island. Okay, means you can't find any one grid where it is isolated. Suppose here it is not present. Now if you check here, they are forming an island, and this island has a perimeter or boundary, right? So you have to find what is the length of this boundary. So here if you check, so 1 plus 1 plus 1, like that way it is 16. Okay, so this boundary you have to find. So there is a simple solution using two for loop. Okay, so that I will first show you. Then how to apply DFS here, that I will show you next. So here this graph is present. So what we can do is we can check each and every cell. So and if it's a land, then we can check like left side what is there, top side and right side, or anywhere like in the fourth direction what is there. If there is water or out of the boundary, that time we will add it as a parameter perimeter, and if we can find land in that side, we will not add anything. Okay. So the solution is simple here. If you check, we taken one perimeter variable, so that we have to gradually increase, and we are using two for loop. If we found one land here, means we are here, then we have to check for the four direction, like what is present there by I plus 1j or ij plus 1 or I minus 1j, ij minus 1, to check the four direction, and each and every direction I have to check is water present or not. So using this like check here, that if I less than equal to 0 means, or I greater than equal to grid dot length. So these are the conditions which are used to check like if it is going outside of the boundary or not, right? So that time we have to return true, because that will be considered as a perimeter. Okay, one value we can add there. Or if the grid of I j equal to 0, that means that side water is present. So that time also we can include it as a perimeter. So in either of the case, we have to add do a perimeter plus plus. And when at the end of the loop, we will calculate the perimeter and we have to return it. So it is a simple solution. So O of mn time complexity, you can find the grid water body, right? But our intention is to find it using DFS, because we want to practice DFS, right? So if it in a easy solution we apply DFS and we get the result, then we also feel comfortable using DFS techniques, right? So next we will see the solution for DFS. Now we will apply DFS on this. Basically it's a kind of recursion, you can say. So our first job is to find the first land. Okay, so first land we will find here, right? If we use two for loop, and if we are going each and every cell, the first grid with land we will find here, right? Now from that point we can go to four direction, right? So that means in terms of DFS, what you can say is we can call four DFS function. Okay, so this direction, this direction, this direction, and this direction, right? And that time we have to pass the I and j value there. Okay, and now we have to check what they are returning. So left side DFS call, we will check that if water is present or that is going out of the boundary, then that time we will return one, or we can increase the perimeter count as one, like previous only. So here in this case, water is present, so it will just simply return one. This side also it is one because it is out of the boundary, and right side also it will be one. This side land is present. That means from here again we can call four DFS calls, right? So if we come here, we can call left, down, right. So four direction we can call. So the thing is, we can call this side, this side, this side, and again this side. But again this side we don't want to call. We want to avoid that call. So what I have to do is, whatever cell I am calling, that I have to block. How to block means we can place some value like 3 here. Once the work is done here, we can make it 3 or any other number which is not 1 and 0. Okay, and then we can check that if it is not 1 and 0, then that time we will not go to that side, right? So basically from here, we are calling DFS in three direction. Left side land is there, right side land is there, and this side also land is there. Means from there also we can call four direction. Okay, but we already done our work here, so it will be three again. Means we have blocked. So from here, top, left, and down we can go. Okay, top, left, and down. Here also this three side. So it will be like this, and all will be written one because either out of boundary or water is present. Okay. Here what we have to do, we can go this side or this side. So here left, right, and down. This will return one, this will return one. Here in the downside, from here we can go to this one, and this one. So here either right, left, or down, and here left, right, here. So it will return one, it will return one, it will also one, and one. Right. Now if I change the color and check here, so total number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So if we keep one variable called count or something, so whenever it will return or come back, that time we can increase the count by 1. And by doing this, we can form the whole DFS tree structure and we'll get all the value as our return type. So we have to use recursion to solve this. Now if we jump into the code, it will be crystal clear for you how we are using DFS. The code is also simple. Here I have the island perimeter main method actually, from where we have to start the coding. I got the grid as the input. So now I am checking the row and column value, and I am storing in a global variable. You can pass it along with the DFS function also. Okay, and I have declared one perimeter. Okay, so what we have to do is, now for this I have to first find one cell which is island, right? So if we go to I and j, I can get grid I of j is equal to 1. Now I have to do a DFS there, DFS ij grid. So when I will come here, that time I have to check, uh, so this condition first, that it is going outside of the boundary or it's water or not. If that is the case, that time we have to increase the count, right? Count is a global variable. Now we have to return from that cell, or else if it is a 3, that means if it is already visited, that time also we have to return. And whenever I am visiting a cell, that time I am making it as 3 and then I am going inside. Okay. So actually when I'm calling DFS of I j minus 1, it is calling the same function again here, right? And that time also it will check this I and j is going outside of the boundary, or it's a water or not. Okay, or it is already visited or not. If it is not that case, then we will make it visited, and then we will go in the 4 direction. Okay, and at the end all the result will be collected in this count variable, because here we are doing a count plus plus, so we have to simply return the count. Here if you check, I have put one break uh, word, because as it is mentioned that only one land is present. So if I start our DFS call from any cell which is 1, that means we are done, right? We don't have to check it for any other cell. Okay, so only one time we will get the answer. So if we submit now, it is working. Thanks for watching.